Welcome to this channel. This channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So in the previous few videos, I have shared on the intra-abdominal pressure. Why is it so important to know the Shaolin short strike component of the 1850s Wing Chun Tao sets? And why it is also important to know all the details of the 峨眉十二状 content in the 1850 Tao sets. Now, after sharing this, many friends have already messaged me, chat with me, and some friends said they will not be able to understand what I am saying clearly. Hope that I be able to illustrate it in movement so that they be able to understand. So in this video, I like to share with you what is the example of the Shaolin short strike, intra-abdominal pressure, 峨眉 transmissions or teaching within the 1850s Tao sets. Now, the first thing I like to share with you, for the Chinese, transmissions, 传承, transmission, 传承, or sometimes you say, yeah, I got this transmissions from this lineage or this teaching. Transmission actually mean mastering and responsibility. Mastering mean one know the thing inside out. One know the thing, the contents, the technical contents, the details inside out. That is the signature of one really know what one is talking about. The second thing is responsibility. Transmissions is about transfer technology from the past generations to the next generations, and make sure that what the technology is transferred staying there and be able to expand. So transmissions is first one have to master that thing inside out. Master that thing inside out meaning that you know the thing so well that you can use Chinese term to explain that thing. You know you can use Western sports science to explain that thing. Unless you can do that, you really don't have the mastering. You don't know. The second thing is the responsibility. You got the technology, and the technology is a responsibility. Okay? You don't have the owner right of that technology. You only have the user right of the technology. So make it clear that way. So stop to thinking, oh, transmission, I'm the grandmaster. Because I buy C with this grandmaster, that grandmaster, I'll get the transmission. Forget about it. Okay? That's not what the Chinese practice and not the Chinese mean. So get this clear in mind. It doesn't matter it's in Chinese martial art or it doesn't matter it is in Zen Buddhism. Same thing. Okay? This is very strict. Now, three types of heart or mentality one need to watch out when dealing with all these transmissions and the ancient teaching of the Chinese Kung Fu or Zen Buddhism. Number one, stop making up things. What you have no idea what it is. Stop making it up. Let me illustrate this with a real life example for you. 40 years ago, my Sifu Cho Hong Choi, the Cho family Sifu Cho Hong Choi, his classmate, at one day he tell me this, your Sifu have this set. Your Sifu have this transmissions or secret of Cho family, the inner circle, blah, blah, blah. You see, he never taught people on this. Okay? So, since at that time, I trained Kyokushin. The same time with I study with Sifu Cho Hong Choi. He know that. I'm pretty straightforward with him. I went to ask him, Sifu, Uncle so and so, tell me that you have this sets and this type of secret set or whatever. So Cho Hong Choi told me this. Why don't you master everything I taught you instead of listen to those who have no idea what is going on? Okay? So this is number one thing. If you want to learn something, stop create something which you have no idea what it is. This is Kung Fu. This is not a movie making. Okay? You do this, you're going to screw yourself up and also screw other people. The second thing, stop to be hateful and destructive. Often, when people do not get what they have, or sorry, do not get what they want, say if I go to my Sifu, I want to study this set, and Sifu didn't teach me that. And then later on, I badmouth my Sifu. I slander him. Wow, my Sifu don't know this. He doesn't know this. That's why I left. That is what have this hateful heart. Because one don't have it, one will like to destroy it. So this is the type of hateful heart. You have those kind of heart, you will never learn anything. The third thing is greedy heart. It is a classic in Zen Buddhism. The classics say this. In the Six Patriarch Sutra, the guy named Hui Ming went to the Six Patriarch asking for the teaching of the core of the Buddha's teaching or the Zen teaching. So after Hui Ming, the Six Patriarchs, Huinan, the Six Patriarch, taught Hui Ming, okay, the Six Patriarch taught Hui Ming everything. Hui Ming turned around and said, Sir, is there any more secret? So The sixth part tell him, be able to observe, aware of yourself. Secret is in your own body. Okay? So that is a classical of the secret heart. People don't follow the instruction of aware of their body, observe their body, and keeping asking, oh, do you still have any kinds of secret? This three type of heart is little. Okay. First, don't create anything. Second, don't be hateful, full of hatred, try to destroy things because you don't get it. The third thing, stop to be greedy. If you have this three type of heart, guarantee you will not learn anything in Chinese Kung Fu or Zen Buddhism to the advance. Why? You block yourself. The first, you create things, you make up all this thing. People who make up things will get into the state that they even believe themselves for whatever they create. Second, the hateful stuff. Oh, because I don't get it, I'm going to destroy it. Well, that type of heart leave you blind because you cannot examine yourself to see what's wrong with you. Instead of hating other people, blaming other people, and say, oh, he's a billionaire. I cannot be billionaire, so I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to spread bad rumors about him. For heaven's sake, can you just look back at yourself? Why are you not a billionaire? Take responsibility for yourself. Why other people can get it? Why you don't get it? The third thing, stop all those greediness. If you don't look at yourself, how do you know what you learn? So I opened this up for our friend here in the West and entire world. This three thing is toxic. You get into it, you going to get down to the tube. You never learn anything real or anything in depth. And you are not going to live happily because you always have that greed. One more, you always have the hatred, and you always live in that delusion you create. Many people create things because they like to play expert. Like people say, you know, Cho family have the secret set which is have narrow stance. Well, have you trained in Cho family? Have you really developed the proficiency? Do you have the transmissions? If you never, you know you are trying to playing expert. Okay? Now, watch out for these three things, okay? It's guarantee you go to hell if you stick on that. You never learn anything. Now, let's go into the first thing, the 峨眉十二庄. The Wing Chun's Dim Dim Cheng, every point has to be clean. It's based on 峨眉. Everything is built up from details. If you don't get the details, meaning that you cannot be every point is clear, you will never ever learn the proper art. Okay? So, details mean there is no, it seems like, I think so, my interpretation is so, if. Details mean no such thing. It's like electronics. Okay? You want the thing to work, the system to work, you better know every details how that thing works. Now, to illustrate for you this. Remember yesterday we talked about the uh, the half yin yang, okay, and that related to the intra-abdominal pressure. So let's go inside there, okay? If we exhale when you going down like that in this practice in the beginning of 修炼堂, okay, that is compressing the rib cage here, and in the same time you do not interrupt the 360-degree contractions of your body. Remember, a proper respiratory systems, which is with the intra-abdominal pressure, is that when you inhale, it expands 360 degree. When you exhale, you contract 360 degree. So when you're going down, you actually compress your rib cage and you contract 360 degree. Now when you raise up, you actually open up your rib cage and you let the entire torso be able to expand 360 degree. So if you do that, of handling of the physical body, the breathing, and the intra-abdominal pressure, you will feel like the entire body is really smooth, lightweight. There is nothing holding you or pressurize you. Okay? Now, the hand has to be like that. Okay? Half yin yang, up. See? If you do this, you actually compress your chest. That hinders you from the full inhale and 360-degree inhale. And that causes you have pressure here in the chest. So disregard of if you do this, or you do this, same thing. It is different with this. Fully exhale, compress your ribs, and inhale. Open up your ribs, 360-degree expand, so you have a long breath there. All those details, you can try it at home. Make sure stand balls properly, like parallel stand, really properly. Make sure that you be able to squat so that you be able to breathe. You're going down. Remember, half yin yang going up. You take a deep breath, see what happens. Compare with you going down, you go this way, you're going this way, or you're going down, you're going this way. See what happens with that breath, which is a longer, deeper, and smooth, really massive of the capacity breathe. So try it. As soon as you're human, you know. You got to do this. That is the details of 峨眉十二庄, which is get to the 修炼陶 1850. So there is no. It seems like, if I think my interpretations, this is exactly like the sixth patriarch of the Zen, telling Huinan, who asked him, "Is there any secret?" If you don't observe yourself, how the hell are you going to know anything at all? You observe yourself. You know how your rib cage, the 360 degree. The ancient Chinese do not have this intra-abdominal pressure stuff or the thoracic pressure stuff. But if you know it, when the Western science saying that there's intra-abdominal pressure and the thoracic pressure and describe, you say, oh yeah, I know. That is what it's talking about. That is called what? That is called mastering. Okay? So until one know all of this, stop to play expert. Now, one other thing, when you go down and come up, inhale, exhale, and inhale, if your thumb is locked down like that, okay? Like you make a knife hand, instead of release it, you notice that you cannot breathe properly or as smooth as when your thumb point up. Why? That get to the qi flow. The qi flow, the energy flow the Chinese talk about. So you use in the old Chinese term, you use the thumb to control the lungs qi flow. When you're going down, your thumb going down. It helps you to exhale clean. When you're coming up, half yin yang, you have your thumb up. It helps you to be able to inhale properly, deeply, and a large capacity. So is this just the one of the uh, lines in the Xiu Lim Tao, which is the same with the, or exact or not exact with the Mei Se Zhuang? You're out of your mind. The Chinese, every character means something. Every character means something. Not about Wing Chun is Wing Chun. Wing Chun is Wing Chun. Or all this, I write it this way and he write it this way. Forget about it. Do you know all these details? If you don't know all these details, how the world are you going to develop your intra-abdominal pressure, your core stability? How? Your breathing. The reason I split the entire thing to the six core element is so that it make simple for people to study. Because most 99.999% of the people today have no longer studied the ancient Chinese classic, do not know what the heck is going on, and keeping making out their stuff. That's why you look at people doing this kind of thing for hundreds of years, 130 years. Just look at that, you know that they not be able to handle their intra-abdominal pressure. They do not be able to handle their qi. You cannot handle your intra-abdominal pressure, meaning you cannot handle your core. What in Western sports science we know. If you cannot handle your core, you don't have the core stability, what can you do? You cannot lift weight, you cannot dash out, because your body is like the marshmallow. Okay? This is a straight talk. This is like, martial art is like training army. You want to go making a war, you better get everything straight. Or else you sending your people to die. Okay? That is called no responsibility. So over here, I share with you already also example of what? 传承, transmission. You need to be really mastering what the heck you're talking about. You need to have a responsibility. Don't send your people out there to die, okay? This is the reason why I don't want to be called Sifu. Why? There are so many things I don't aware of myself. Why should I call myself Sifu without knowing all this thing I tell you, I just share with you, and then I screw everybody up? Is that Sifu? There is a saying in Chinese, 好为人师, love to be other people's Sifu. You better know what the heck you have before you want to be Sifu. Okay? Not to mention all this grandmaster, grandmaster. It is like what? If you don't even have a elementary school graduate level, don't call yourself you have a PhD. Those guys in the university, they have the PhD, will not accept that, and they'll laugh the hell out of you. Okay? Life is not a movie. Now, that's Mei. The second thing about the Shaolin, the Qi Ji Guang, the Chou family have this secret set of the narrow stance. My teacher don't have this narrow stance. You know what is the reality? Again, you apply the Zen teaching. Observe yourself. Let me ask you a question. If you want to lift something heavy, can you do this? Can you do this to lift something heavy? Standing like this, narrow stand, lift something from the ground? Or in today's science, it will teach you to open, you have to squat down and then lift it up. Open your stand, squat down and lift the thing up, or you stand like this. Well, we know if you want to lift thing up, you better to do this. Disregard of how heavy that thing, you might screw up your back if you do this. Okay? Now, if you want to take a rest for recovery, do you do this? Or you do this? So when you want to rest, you don't put a wide stance like this, standing this way, like a structure. You put this way, you get into the narrow stance, natural stance of human, and you relax that. So statistically, you know right away, it is nonsense to say that, Chou family have a narrow stance. Are you human or what the heck are you? Again, this is what the sixth patriarch tells Hui Ming say. Hui Ming say, can you observe yourself? Don't keep asking me about this secret. Don't make it up thing you have no idea what the heck it is. Okay? If you think that there's a Chinese Kung Fu have to be, secret, narrow stance, anybody who do weightlifting or even work at the, like the UPS or FedEx, get training for lifting the package will laugh the hell out of you. Why? Because those always narrow stance, fixed stance, couldn't even do a thing in the real life for lifting something. Not to mention, in dynamic, when your opponent charge in with this direction, do you want to go open it up? Or you want to stand a narrow stand like this? Let people take the hell out of you. Get some brain, man. Now, in dynamic, let's look at the Qi Ji Guang's very famous classic close bodies fighting combinations. Okay? This is Qi Ji Guang combinations. It's called drum and banner momentum. Drum and banner momentum is you get in close, you see, leg is there, this close, You press this down, you strike him. Okay? He's going to move back. At the same time, you follow up, you slam him on the top. He's going to lean back, okay? And you going down for the single leg takedown. Got it? Slam in, takedown. Let me ask you these questions. This is a real Qi Ji Guang training for his army to fight in the real life. Momentum. Do I stand in a narrow stand or wide stance? In all this combination for real life. Do I stand in the high up stance or I have to go down? Real life 460 years ago. Obviously, you know that there's no such thing in the real life on this narrow stand, this stand, that stand stuff. In fact, your entire body have to move dynamically. So that's reality of fighting. That is the reality of nurture chi. Lose everything to recovery. That is the reality for the strengthening training. That is the reality of fighting. He move fast, I have to move fast. And I have to dash out with a large wide stance. It's not like he move out, you're going to move like this. Are you kidding? Keeping thinking about, oh, it has to be this stance, that stance. It's like what? The Chinese have a saying. In the ancient, there's one person who lost his sword while he was in a boat. Then guess what he do? People say, well, you have to go drive down like right now to take the sword back. He said, no. I just have to mark the boat where, the place where I drop my sword to the lake. I just have to mark this. So when I go to the shore, I follow this mark going down. My sword will be down there. The Chinese say, 刻舟求剑. What type of idiot is that? Okay? So, I have shared with you, you want to do the Shaolin Sword Strike? Shaolin Sword Strike is based on General Qi Ji Guang. You just see it. If you don't have the stability, you don't have the breathing, where you can manage, like the other day I tell you, once you get contact in all this thing, how the hell are you going to change? Because the opponent is not going to stop there, let you do this combination, isn't it, in the real life? You practice it that way, but in the real life, it's going to change. The rhythm is going to change, everything is going to change. You want to know the truth? This is the truth. So, you practice the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao set. It's not playing like in the movie. The Prodigal Son. Oh, this is Wing Chun. That's called movie. Those people who make that movie have no clue of what it is. If you follow that exactly, Xu Xiaodong will exactly love the hell out of you. Okay? So, this is what I like to share with you. I put it straightforward for you. Why? The first thing is you need to show what is the mastery. The second is responsibility. Whatever you tell other people, are you going to send him to die or screw his health? So it's like, oh, this is Tai Chi. I have to do this. This is my interpretation. This is the what the grandmaster say. This is according to my grandmaster. Grandmaster what? Well, tell me, how come you do this? How come you do this? How come you don't know your body's 360 degrees expansion, contraction, your core stability? The Westerner know. The Western sports science know. So whose internal is more internal? Is the Western sports science more internal, or your Chinese stuff is more internal? Or your secret teaching is more internal? And is that internal? Yes. You want to deal with your breathing, your intra-abdominal pressure, isn't that internal? And the intra-abdominal pressure and your breathing, isn't it have to work with your muscle and your back muscle to stable your core and your limbs? Isn't that internal and external is one? There's no such thing as this pure internal, external. Okay? So this is what I share with you. Straightforward. This is the Zen way. If you go study Zen in a real teacher, real Zen monk, he will go straight with you. Why? Because the idea of the education is tell the proper thing to benefit human. It's not making movie, get high. It's not to preach my lineage. I have this, I have this. So right now I question everybody, how come you don't even know how to breathe? Just beginning, I know you cannot breathe. Why do I know? Because science can prove to you. You go like that, you compress your chest. What is that going to do to you? You do narrow stance, you cannot go down. You cannot exert the strength. You cannot do the dynamic. So what is fixed? There's nothing fixed there. The bottom line is you have to know yourself. You be able to handle your 6 core element. Okay? All the sets and everything is just tools. It's like the boat who travel across the river from one side to the other side. Once you travel, once you cross that, you know your body. And you know how much problem your body which you need to fix. So it's not, I learned this. I go to China. Everybody claps. Oh yeah, you are nice, blah, blah, blah. I can perform these sets. And then I'm a sifu. What the heck are you talking about? That's not what the Chinese, ancient Chinese, means and their standard. Okay? So, you like what I say? Go examine what I say is true or not. If you don't like what I say, just don't watch my video and throw away what I'm saying.